Hey, it's Ian from Las Vegas Scooters and Lifts again. It's not another Solax, but it might as well be. Okay, so we've got this customer. This is number one of two that's going to come in. This one's just coming in for a service, really, but he dropped it, and when I was going through it, it did lock up a little bit, so I'm going to go through all that. It is a bit crusty in there, so I'm going to go through all the screws, tighten everything up, loosen everything if it's too tight. There's some damage to the scooter. Front section's missing a screw. Typical front tiller's loose, so tighten that up, go for it all. Now the problem with it is his key fob stopped syncing with his relay box when he dropped it, but I think he's damaged the relay box because I've tried syncing the key fob back up, and the way you do that is on these drives there is a little button on the relay box just there by my finger. With the power on, key on, you press that and let go, and it should beep 4 times, and you press the A button on the remote, and then it should beep 3 times, and that should sync the remote back to the controller, the relay box. It's not doing that. It's acting like it's responding to the key, but I think the relay box is damaged. I think you may have dropped it on the relay box and damaged that. Tried resetting the relay box, which is press and hold that button. You press and hold that until it gives you a long beep, and that clears any preset key fobs to it. I've tried a new key fob on it, it still didn't work, so you're probably looking at a new relay box. Now he's not probably going to change that because he can still operate the open and close with the button at the back. That still works because that's hardwired into the relay and doesn't rely on the signal from the key fob, so I don't think he's going to bother to do that because he has a secondary scooter. This is just his just quick get around scooter that he used for work. He's got a Jazzy ZT8 now, so 0 turn 8 that he likes, and he's going to use that more. He's going out to get a new vehicle today and get a lift put on that. So he actually got into an accident with his lift. Somebody ran into his lift, bent it all up, so he's doing the insurance on that one. We've got that ordered today, so that'll be a lift install for him for his new scooter. So this is going to be a quick service, so I'll crack on and get it all cleaned up and have a look at this mechanism, get it working correctly, make sure it's not jammed up like it was the first time. So here we go. Okay, so first of all, before I do anything, I'm going to give it a good spray of WD-40, or yeah, WD-40 should do it. I'll find a cloth just to cover up any important bits like the relay. I'm just going to give the mechanism a good squirt over of WD-40 just to clear off some of the crud that's in there, just in case, and it'll help me clean it as well. So just around the mechanism that opens and closes the scooter, and that way I can just wipe it down. Let's sit in there for a little bit while I can work on his armrest. Now his armrest got bent when he dropped it. It's got all bent up. I'm going to see if I can straighten that out, but probably to no avail. But yeah, I can see what I can do with that. It is loose. So screwdriver. I think it's the arm pad that's bent. Don't know straighten that up. Yeah, it's obviously got metal inside of it. That's a bit better. It's not 100%, but it's better than it was. I want to break the rubber on it. Yeah, that's pretty bent. That's better. It's not 100% like I said, but it's a bit straighter than it was. It was cocked up like that. So at least it didn't bend that, but I've got to tighten that up. Yeah, looking at 10mm maybe. Just tighten that up so it's not slopping around. And 6mm. 6mm Allen, 10mm bolt. Don't want it too tight that you can't move the armrest, but tight enough that it's not slopping around. You're looking at the back of my head. That should do it. Okay. I turn the armrest around so it's the other way. That way it won't be so uncomfortable for him. That way you ain't got to replace the armrest cover. Not sure if they're the same. Look like it, yep. There's a thick part on that. Oh, I see. They're interchangeable, but they're specific side. You can't flip them around like you can some armrests. So it has to go back on with the damaged side. So we're going to straighten it out anymore. I don't like that. That's a bit better. Also, he's lost one of his seat locking bolts, so I've got to get one of those. A service and a seat locking bolt, seat knob, whatever you want to call them. Good job I ordered extra. Hope you can still hear me. I'm in the shop. Get one of my spare parts. Let's see. Oh, that is bent. Yeah, he's bent that. How much has he bent it? Like I said, not 100%, but I want to bend it the other way now. Need a big wrench. See if I can twist it. A bit smaller. Your wrist bending the whole thing. Yeah, it'll do. Never gonna be perfect. Alrighty, let's give this a nice wipe down. That should help with the opening and closing of the scooter. You just got to be careful where you spray, that's all. You've got wires and connectors and everywhere, so just make sure you don't spray on any connectors. But definitely put some lubrication on your ram and opening mechanism, clear off any dirt and debris. I'll just go around with an Allen wrench, just make sure nothing's too tight. Seat back wants tightening up. As usual, they get very loose all the time with folding the seat backwards and forwards. Checking those things again that was loose on that one Solax that have wandered. They're okay, the springs are okay. That spring's okay, that spring's okay. Make sure that release handle works. No bent pens like on that one. Like I said in that video, you do have a redundancy system on these where if it doesn't come on straight, just make sure it locks and then unlocks. Okay, so what's locking up now? Closing all the way. Oh, there it goes. And pull the handle towards you to unlock it. And again, it's always a two-part mechanism with these. One to lift to lock, and then lift it again. And pull it towards you to unlock. Then it locks into its first position like it would be when it's unlocking via remote. Okay. And that WD-40 will soak in there. So yeah, I don't see any problems there. Nothing bent. Make sure not to spray on any of the connections for the battery. Keep them dry. Also clean out any crap that's in the battery compartment. Always check your connections, always check the wiring to the connections, make sure that's all good. So it's only going to be a quickish service. Still going to be thorough, but I'm not taking wheels off or anything like that, so there's no need, there's nothing damaged there, and they're a pain in the butt to get off. But I'm going to tip it over on its ass so I can replace that screw in there. Now, I'm not sure what these screws are. But I think they're not SAE, SEA, or whatever you call them. No, that's oh, well, we'll put some thread lock on them, on the one that's come off. I think these are metric screws. I think all the scooter manufacturers use metrics for some reason. And that's your relay box. I don't know if you can see it there. Zoom in a bit. Yep, that thing by the red handle, that's your relay box, and on top is a little button for you to program your remote. Yeah, this one's got a washer stuck on it. Put thread locker on there to stop it from backing off again. Yeah, with these scooters, they're very rough riding. It's not going in. Yeah, the rough riding, and my screws wobble out. They back off because they don't put Loctite on them. I guess so you can change them. Yep. That one will work. Alrighty. That's on there. So I'll quickly show you what happens. They actually tried to rectify it. Don't need to be that close. Okay. This gets loose. See it? It's hard to do when it's there. There you go. That gets loose there. And you just have to tighten these up. But you have to back this one off, tighten that one up, and then kind of opposite, tighten that and loosen that off so it binds against each other and stops this from rocking forward and backwards, because it'll end up ruining the bearings in there. You don't want to do that. Don't try and undo that. That just connects your stem to the lower portion of the steering. No need to undo that. It's just this piece here. So if you have a wobbly front tiller, that's what it is. Now, have I still got my tool? To see if I can tighten that. Yeah, that's loose. Super loose. No easy way to do this. I kind of does it hand tight. I made up a special little thin tool to do that with. I'm just basically locking them up now. Just tapping one forward, one backwards. Don't want it too tight that you can't steer the damn thing, but not too loose you're damaging. There we go. Let's give that another tap to tighten that. Just lock it in place. So that's that done. Always look at the transaxles, see if there's any grease leaking out of these. Leaking out? Yeah, there's a bit of grease on there. I still ain't got any degreaser, so I'm having to rely on this stuff to clean it up. It's only about 2 years old, this machine, but he used it quite a bit. He used to work for Caesar's Palace, or Caesar's Properties anyway, and he was made redundant, unfortunately. But yeah, he bought this to do work, to go to work and back with it. Obviously he couldn't walk. I'm not going to go into his personal situation. Nice guy. But, yeah, he bought this to go to work, and he ended up getting the Jazzy ZT, like one of those. He didn't buy it from us, he didn't buy this from us, but he bought a lift from us. But the lift for the Jazzy ZT and his vehicle was not compatible. He went out and bought the scooter, not checking if the lift could actually lift the scooter or his car could actually carry it, and it couldn't. And then someday some nice gentleman decided to run into the lift with the scooter on it, and then drove off without saying anything. So he had to claim through his own insurance, which is never a good thing. It sucks, people. Take responsibility for your actions. You break it, you pay for it. Like I said, just check your connections. They're only held in with those little screws there. Make sure there's no damage to the wire. Took it away. Make sure it's not, so it doesn't chafe. Make sure it's out of the way so it can spring. No corrosion. Make sure those connections spring back freely, because if they get locked up and they won't connect to your battery properly and cause you problems, intermittent problems. Make sure that's the fold lock mechanism there, that locks it in place. Make sure it's not bent, the spring's in place, it springs back. I'm going to get my brush. I bought it, might as well use it. Just get any residual dust off of the folding mechanism. And I can go around with the Allen wrench. Yep, that's where it should be. Just doing a quick inspection, make sure everything's where it should be. Oh, what's that? That was in the way, so that may have been causing a problem. There was a little cable tie over the release mechanism over this little stud here. It's just fell off. I think it was this. Looks like it. This has got locked around one of the mechanisms. Just down. Where is it? There, over that. This thing here, I don't know if you can see it, that little, I'll point to it with my armrest. There's like a little knob thing there. It was wrapped around there. And that has to lock into this portion here. One on either side, there and there. Those little stubby things lock into there to so you can release and unrelease the handle. There's your unfolded lock position, and these get released. That was those things I was showing you that that's a bit stiff. Not bent, but just pressing up on something. You have to be careful. If you release one side or the other, the damn thing will fold up on your fingers. So just be careful. I think it's because it's sitting on its open position and it's leaning backwards, so I'm not too concerned about that. There's no missing bolts. Yeah, that's okay. That has to be loose there because you're folding arm here, folding arm there. Okay. Yeah, hopefully that's all it was. It was just that zip tie that was in the way. Okay. Make sure these are all tight, nothing come loose, no bolts missing. That was just a bit of dust. Alright, it's gonna get noisy. It's gonna blow off any dust, debris. I want to excuse me. A little bit of seepage coming from the motor. Hopefully not too bad. Just a little bit more WD just to soak in there, just to keep it lubricated. Give that a quick clean up. Just to clean this front shroud. For those of you who don't believe me, not that I'm saying that you do, but just in case you doubt what I was saying, these two are the same scooter. ZooMe Auto Flex, as you can see in there, it says Solax or Solax. They just stole the design and put their own badges on it. Probably made it cheaper as well. But what do I know? I'll lock tight. Put that screw back in for him. The other one. Might as well put lock tight on that. Oh, it was a late night last night. I was around Drew's finishing off some jobs. We didn't leave till 12:30 midnight last night. 12-hour day for me. I don't mind. It was good fun. Playing with my hobby. Okay, I think that's all I need to check there. Both those screws are on, both those screws are on. Because I have seen them where these screws back off. That hold the motor in. Not a lot you can do with these Transaxles. They have an access port just there, but you can't do anything else. You can't take them apart really. This tube comes off, but it's just that. Once they go, they go. There's nothing you can do with them. And those of you who are looking for the brake handle, brake release handle, it's that red thing there. That releases your brake, just the same as any other scooter. Some have it, some don't, depending on what version you have. A bit of hair in there. Let's get that out. Like I say, I don't want to take the wheels off because they're a bugger. They're held on with Allen bolts, and guaranteed they always strip. The heads always strip out because they're on there so tight. And as soon as you get an Allen wrench on there, unless it's a brand new Allen wrench and you do it gingerly, it just shreds the top of the Allen bolt. I've had to drill some of these out before and put proper bolts in them because of that problem. Again, the same on the Solax, they do the same. They have an Allen bolt instead of a nut bolt sort of head. You can actually get a socket on. Just removing any hair from this axle. There's no bearings in these. There is in the block there, but these aren't so bad. This one's a bit awkward to get. Let's give me a little hook, see if that'll help. Dentist tools. Absolutely brilliant for getting in small places and getting broken keys out of key barrels. Great for that. Can you imagine we get lots of visitors here in Las Vegas and they travel via the airlines and forget to take the keys out of the scooter, and then the airline staff get in there and snap the keys. Not intentionally, just one of those things you forget to do, is take your key out. Because most of the time I think they drive them off for you. I've seen it where they've left it in gear and pushed the scooter and not turned it on, damaging everything. Not good for it. Nearly done with this back axle. clean. Excuse me. Put it back on its feet. Just want to make it look a bit cleaner now. I'll tighten that one up. Just clean the gunk out of his anti-tipping wheels, or trailing wheels as you heard me call them, because they trail at the back of the scooter and don't do a lot. These batteries are different on some of the Solaxes and some of the drives. Some have the fingers going down like that, and the other one have, I think, a line going across, so just be careful if you're looking for a new battery for one of these. Make sure it's either the finger one or it's the other style. Sounds like more work coming in. Alright. Not a lot more you can do with this. Just put the protective cover back over. Just take the handle. Okay. So just the relay box is not good on it, but it still has the function to open and close with the button. Because I manually opened it. There it goes. You have to go through the series of opening and closing the RAM if you've manually opened and closed it, and you want to automatically open and close it. That clunking noise is catching on that. Okay, taking his keys off of there. Oh well, that's a quick one for us. Straighten the armrest out the best I can, put a new seat knob on it, give it a quick service, and then put his panel back on and tighten his tiller up. Yeah. Yep, so that's another quick service out the door, and wasn't too bad. If you like this video, like, share and subscribe, and we appreciate it. Any questions, drop them in the comments. We'll answer as best we can. So until next time, bye now.